Good morning, Flosstube. Welcome back. My name is Stuart. This channel name here is Stuarts and Stitches, and this is Flosstube number 28 on Sunday, the 15th of June 2025. Halfway through June, heading towards midsummer, which I think is next weekend. Yes, midsummer. We're in Scotland. We're in the Central Belt. We've had mixed this week. Yesterday was quite literally a bit of a washout. We had rain from morning to evening. I managed to get my walk in. Just had to time it judiciously and peek out the door every now and again thinking, am I feeling brave? Managed it. Got out and back, home and dry, so to speak. So that was all good. However, we did have some lovely sunny days, and Carl, carpe diem, he seized the day, or the days, and finished painting the fence. The fence is now done. We have a true work of art in the back garden. The last side has been finished, a glorious shade of neon pink, with pink glitter stripes running across it. And then, just to cap it all, I was tasked to go to Asda and get some bath sponges. And I'm looking at them thinking, neither of us have a bath, and neither of us use sponges. What do you want a sponge for? Well, as it turns out, there is an artistic talent lurking in there somewhere. I did know about it, but never seen it quite to the fore as much as this. These sponges were operated on with surgical precision and then used to stamp onto the fence as well. And we have what I'm euphemistically referring to as space rockets all over the fence. Some people, if they ever see it, might think they look like something else, but you might like to think that. I wouldn't possibly comment. Anyway, the fence is now done, and we are both very pleased with the outcome. I will, the next time we have a decent day, I will take a wee zoom around the back garden with a video and attach it to this just to let you see what I've been talking about for the past few weeks. Anyway, that's nothing to do with stitching, which is what we're here for. So, welcome to those of you who have been faithfully following my journey through Flosstube since I started and have joined along the way. Thank you for keep turning up on a Sunday. I really enjoy this spending time with you. It's good fun. I love sharing my passion for stitching and any other things I want to talk about. Generally, it's stitching in this channel. Occasionally some knitting and crochet might creep in, maybe a wee bit about books or something I've been watching. We've got a bit about books today and a wee bit about what I've been watching on Netflix, which will come in towards the end of the video. To anybody who's new to the channel, thank you for signing up to watch me. It's great to have you along. I hope you continue to enjoy what I'm sharing with you. And to those who have just stumbled across and thinking, oh, what's this? What's he on about? I hope you do enjoy it. If you do, give me a thumbs up. Let me know what you think. And if you want to see more, think about hitting that bell and subscribing. And you get notified when I post, which is usually on a weekly basis on a Sunday. Sunday seems to make sense for me, and it seems to be working quite well. What else is there to say before we get into the meat of the content? What am I looking at? I'm looking at my notes. Oh yes, engagement. So as always, please do leave comments. Loving the comments. I'm managing to reply to most of them now as we go through them. Carl and I enjoy reading them. He's always asking, what's the gossip? What are they saying? So we usually just go through, and then as I read that, I tend to put my reply on then. So loving the engagement. So thank you for that, taking the time to comment. It does mean a lot. You can also get hold of me on email at stuartsandstitches@gmail.com and on Instagram at stuartsandstitches. I post on Instagram generally daily with my temperature stitching and my Saga progress. Sometimes I will post my other stitching, whatever it is else I've been working on that week, if I remember by the end of the day. Not been so good at that lately. I have been posting my temperature stitching and my Saga because it's good to keep a track of that, and people seem to enjoy seeing that, which is good. So I'll put these links in the comments below. So what are we talking about today? So there'll be whips, so there'll be temperature stitching, Saga progress, and what other piece I've been working on. This is generally going to be a repeat of last week, unfortunately. I don't think it's unfortunate. I've enjoyed my stitching this week. I was going to rotate out my main piece for the week, but I decided to keep stitching on it for a wee bit just to get a bit more progress before I put her away. There's a bit of haul to talk about. Yes, we're back into haul. Oh, it's great. Loving being able to buy things again. Great when the postman turns up, well, post lady turns up and rings the bell and hands me a package, and I'm thinking, ooh, this is lovely. So there's a bit of that, a bit about stitching organisation again, just to show you what I've been doing. A couple of things off the shelf with surprises, some bags I've been making, a wee chat about books, and we'll have got plans for the coming week. That should keep us occupied for the next 45-50 minutes or so, or thereabouts. So let's get into the temperature stitching. So I have been stitching all day, not all day, I've managed to stitch every day on temperature and Saga as required, although Andrew gave us a break in Saga as he was at StitchCon, and so I had 3 days off. However, I did have 3 days to catch up on last week because he rearranged his schedule to cope with StitchCon, which is fine. And catch up I did, and I'm very pleased with the progress, and you will see that shortly. For my temperature stitching, very brief recap. Numbers 0 to 9 assigned to 10 projects. Whatever high shows in the BBC Weather app when I look at it that day tells me what piece I'm stitching. Double digits, the last digit determines it. So we had one piece got 3 days of stitching this week because we had a constant of 20 something. What's it, 21? No, 2 days it got 21. Because it dropped. Yes, I haven't pulled that piece out. Where is it? I see it. It is in the corner of my eye. But everything else was fine. Everything else got a fair crack in the whip. So, without further ado, first out the gate is what I affectionately refer to as my naughty stitching, Trauma Finland. Fun fact, one of my viewers let me know about. It was really good to hear this one. In the year 2020, it was the 100th anniversary of the birth of the artist of Trauma Finland. Forgive my slaughtering of the Nordic languages, but it looks like Tukko Laaksonen. And in honour of that, a series of stamps were issued in 2020 commemorating this. Sadly, I didn't know this, and sadly, I don't have any of those stamps. I would have loved to get a set of first editions of that. I think that would have been tremendous. I feel a Google search coming on to see if such a thing is available. Anyway, so my temperature stitching for this was last Sunday, and it got 108 stitches when the temperature was 14. And here's where we are. My strategically placed owl, which always seems to raise a giggle for some reason. I'm not quite sure why. So I spent some time filling in here and up the edge here. So making good progress on this. This one will stay out. My temperature stitching, I generally, but not always, my temperature stitching, my rules, I generally will rotate out after 10 appearances. But I'm going to keep going in this one. So this has been stitched in a piece of 28 count something, which I think is from Stephanie, Hand Dyed Fabrics by Stephanie. And coming on very well. Happy days. Right, let me just rearrange myself so I shall disappear from sight for a second. There. And you get a lovely view of the bald head. At least well, I don't think it's shiny. Right, next up, because it happens to be next, is Santa's house. So this is for number 1, so it's 21 on Wednesday and Thursday. So I was looking down at my notes. On Wednesday and Thursday, and overall the piece got 111 plus 115, which is 226 stitches. So this is a piece from the Fabulous House series by Cottage Garden. And you'll see where the needle minder had a wee munch at the corner one day. So that's what it's going to look like. Like I've said before, these pieces are deceptive. You pick this up and you think, oh, this will be fun, which it is. This will be a quick stitch, but it isn't. That house is massive, but well worth the effort. Oops. One of the kids headed off in his electric scooter around the corner there. So, this has been stitched on a piece of 32 count something. Can't remember the name of this. And from West Green Loft Yarns, though I think it came from. It'll be on my Instagram, but my Instagram is on what I'm looking at just now as I'm recording, so I can't do much about that. But here's where we are. So we're just working up. Oh, there's a dangly needle there. Hang on. Let's get that sorted out. There, right. That's better. So I've just been finished up there and been working up here. So we'll get this roof finished. And then I'll decide at that point, is this going to stay or go? Because this has gone beyond its 10 days now as well. But I wanted to get that roof finished. So that's one of the specialty threads, which is some Plymouth Rock. So that's Classic Colourworks. Classic Colourworks 163. For those who might be interested, the red is Ladybug, which is number 190. So that's this kind of red here. It's very effective how it's looking though. I'm really pleased with how it's turning out. I do have some more of them, and I want to buy the Tudor house. I keep forgetting to put that in an order when I'm ordering from Arts and Designs, but next time I do order, I will have that in mind to add to my basket. So pleased with how that's coming on. I'm loving this temperature stitching, by the way. I love the progress I'm getting. Because all of these pieces, they all get 100 stitches a time they come out. And it's amazing. I mean, 100 stitches doesn't sound a lot. But when it builds up, you do get a lot done. There, right. Where were we? So that was that one. Right, what have we got next? We have Teresa Wensler. Oh, Cany. So, this one came out on Tuesday for number 17. So number 7 is Teresa Wensler, and this got 112 stitches. This being Above the Clouds. The kind of sort of mini version of the castle. One of my viewers sent me a picture of her finished one of the castle with the wing extension on it. Stunning is about the only word I could use to describe that. So thank you for sending me that. I enjoyed seeing it. I think I replied to your email. I'm fairly sure I did. So what have we got? Where are we? Oh, here we are down at the bottom. Let's see if you can see this. So this is being stitched on a piece of Ceridwen by Hand-Eye Fabrics by Stephanie. It is a 28 count Monaco. It's a fat 8th and being stitched as required with the many blends. We do like a blend when we're doing Teresa Wensler, don't we? There we go. So I've been working down here, finished this wee section in the corner, and then I've started with the edge of the wing that comes down there. The corner of the wing, so a wee bit of the blue and the gold coming in. So there we go. I'm enjoying this. I always do enjoy stitching Teresa Wenslers. They're challenging, but good. And I love the blends. I mean, yeah, I might grump about it, but the effect, it's well worth it. What's life without a bit of a grump now and again? However, we won't tell you what my husband says about that. Right, so that was that one. That can sit there. Excuse me a second, I just need to pick two things out, or you're just going to see lots of empty space in a second, so let's find the pause button. And we're back. Back in the room. Right, next piece of temperature section to show you is Fall Fairy. When did that come out to play? Yesterday. This came out yesterday and got 116 stitches, whether it be full cross or half. It's a Dimensions kit, a well-known Dimensions kit. And I'm over here, in this quadrant up here. And thoroughly enjoying it, hence why this one is continuing to go just now. I think I want to try and finish this quarter I'm on. So when I'm counting my stitches for this one, whether it's half stitch or cross stitch, I don't care. It's a stitch, and it counts towards 100. Especially when I'm kind of late getting into the temperature stitching that day. If I've got a bit more time, then I'll be through a bit more in if it's mostly half stitch. But it all depends. Again, my stitching, my rules. I'm trying to sort this into some kind of thing that looks like something I can show you. Right, here we go. Here we go. Here we go. So, right, here she is. I love this. I love the blues. I love all the colours in here. So I've just been working along here, getting these leaves stitched in. And this blue area, the sky filled in. It's a gorgeous, gorgeous design. So that'll continue to get more work on it. The more I do this, the more I'm falling in love with dimension kits again. It's dark a wee bit there, but I don't know how the light works on this camera and this phone, but it has a life of its own. Anyway, it seems to be clear, which is good. So this has been stitched on 16 count, the grey Ada that was provided with the provided not DMC, the dimensions threads, whatever it is they use. I don't want to put it in that way. I like to cover up my stitching when I put it back in, just in case. I don't mind if the back gets pulled a bit, but I do object to the front stitches getting pulled. Right, so that can go in there, that goes down there. And then the last piece that came out, this hasn't been out for a wee while, so I was very pleased to see this. Love Lives Here. It's a country cottage, here's the chart. Country cottage needleworks piece, Love Lives Here. So it's a wee sampler style thing, which one day will turn into a cushion. Lovely wee piece. I am enjoying stitching it, and here I'm using all the called for threads. So it's a DMC classic cotton. No, it's just old classic Colourworks. This one, nice wee palette going on there. Love that red. And oops, more trailing threads. I left the thread there ready for when I pick it up again. So what I did was I finished this row of green here, which is a little sprout, and then I've started this, whatever this is, which I think, if I'm right, where did I put the chart? Oh, there it's looking at a picture. This is a fence, and it's going to have a wee birdie sitting on it. So really nice. And I love the lettering along the bottom here in the red. Oh, that came up very well. So I'm enjoying working in this. So I should, it's been on the go since Pussy was a cat. 11th of November 2022 this was started. Moving on. we won't talk anymore about that. It's not by old as wit by any stretch of the imagination, though, I hasten to add. Now that's the temperature stitching dealt with. So that was good progress. I'm not sure what it is today. I haven't checked. Yesterday we had a wee look just to see what might be on the cards for today. It was Supernatural, the what's the word I'm looking for? Stitched along for a couple of years ago from Witchy Stitcher to match up with cryptids. But that may have changed. I don't know yet. I'll check later on when I get around when it's time to do my temperature stitching. Right, what else? So my other regular piece is Saga. Hang on, they turned round and let's see what we got here. Right, Saga. So this is going to look like that. I'm working, oh, not in the hippo, I'm not reached. I'm working this arch here. This is huge, by the way, massive. When I see folks stitching this, the reason I'm stitching this piece just now is part of Andrew's whip into shape for his marathon training, Andrew the runner stitcher. I'll link that video below where he talks about it if you're interested in joining in. Never too late to start, and catching up is always fun. Basically the premise is he's put up his training schedule for, and let me put this down before my arm drops off, for the marathon training, and he marks off every day when he's done his run. And what we as stitchers do in support of this is pick a whip that we want to whip into shape, hashtag, and put 10 stitches in for every mile he runs. Or if you don't like counting your stitches, you can then instead stitch for the amount of time that he runs each day. So either or whatever you want to do, or you can tweak it to suit yourself. So me, for example, I do 100 stitches a day on every day he trains. He does have rest days, so that's quite nice, you get a wee break. But every day he trains, I will put in at least 100 stitches, if not more. And the piece I chose was Saga. I'm stitching this on a piece of 40 count Zweigart Country Mocha and using Silks for You PRO34, one strand over 2 on the piece, and we have progress. So last time you saw it, I had just got to the bottom of this castle. So this castle is now finished, and I've been working, coming up this arch here, so we can start building the arch up over. I'm hoping that by the end of the challenge, that'll be a thing. I'll be able to have that arch done. But I'm loving doing this. I'm loving the detail and how it's all coming together. And it looks so good. I'm very, very pleased with this. So Andrew, keep up the training. Like I've said before, this is the nearest I'll ever get to a marathon training. Whereas Pam, my friend Pam, Dizzy Stitcher, Ditsy Daisy Stitcher, Dizzy Stitcher's Darren, mentioned to me once, the nearest she'll get is eating a marathon, or as they're now called, Snickers. I think we're all showing our age there when we recognise marathon as Snickers. But yes, I identify with that quite happily. That's one of my favourite bags, one of my favourite fabrics, a Japanese one, which reminds me, I can't remember who it was that told me, I'm very bad for remembering the name of people, but somebody mentioned Oso Crafty in the UK, because I was putting out a plea for where can I find this kind of fabric. And yes, they have Japanese fabrics, and they do have the peacock designs. So I will be ordering some fabric from them for more bags. So thank you for that. The community is ever helpful with answers to my questions. Love it. And the other piece I've worked on this week, oh no, no temperature stitching. I forgot. There's one piece here I haven't shown you, and she's sitting here looking at me. Well, she is faceless at the moment, but is looking at me saying, "You forgot me. How could you?" This is a lavender and lace piece. This one comes out for number 3. So Monday was 13, which is Blue Moon Fairy, and got 109 stitches. And here we are. I'm not quite. Can I? Yes, I can peek around the corner here. So there she is. Isn't she beautiful? So I was basically filling in the kind of halo around what's going to be the face. You can see the outline of the face quite clearly there, actually. It's been nice working in this. I do like a lavender and lace. So there we are. Yes, I forgot to show you that. So temp stitching is now finished. Saga is now done. Right. So what else? And the other piece I worked on this week was Miss Cherry Blossom from Mirabilia. I will show you a picture of what one day this will look like. Yes, I have it on my tablet. We are organised. There she is. Oh, it's coming up nicely. And I'm down where that ribbon is swirling over towards me at the bottom. So I'm just working on that wee bit down there just now as I start. So I started this with Michelle from Mama Loves You GB. This is Michelle's first foray into Fancy Ladies. And she coerced me. I didn't take much coercion, let's be honest, into starting this one with her. It's not my first Fancy Lady. I've been in that rodeo before. And when she mentioned Miss Cherry Blossom, I had messaged her saying, I've got that, I've got the fabric, I've got some thread, no, I've got the bead pack and I've got the chart, so I'm good, I can start that. She says, oh, let's do a sal. I thought, oh well, why not? So the sal is called #VirginLadySal. I'll put that in the notes somewhere below. And if you'd like to start a Fancy Lady, please do. Or pick one back up or join in and support. Because there'll be folk maybe who are joining, I hope so, who it's their first time in a Fancy Lady, but there are others who will be stitching in support. I don't know, there seems to be I don't know the word, not quite a fear, but an awe of starting a Fancy Lady, which I don't understand. They're not difficult, they honestly are not. Yes, they got a wee bit more things in them, like beads, but beading's dead easy. It's just cross stitches with a bead in the middle of it. You're just putting a bead in your needle. And there's plenty of folk in the groups can help out. YouTube, Flosstube is a wonderful resource, so please don't let that put you off. Using metallic threads, Kreinik or Petite Treasure Braid, or whatever your flavour of the month is, again, you're just stitching X's with them. They're a wee bit more, what's the word I'm looking for? A wee bit more slightly awkward to work with, but the effect is well worth it, and you just use shorter strands, and then you get less knots, and they don't fray. Don't use your normal, well, I use a normal for a stitch, and I'll go from kind of there to my elbows, my standard length. But if I'm using a metallic, I'll do a wee bit shorter because I end up swearing, and that's not good for any stitching. But I don't get this, why people are sort of in kind of nerves about starting a Fancy Lady. It's just another form of stitching. It's like full coverage. They're just big, but it's the simplest stitch of all. It's just X's, one X after another. There's no back stitch, there's nothing fancy in a full cover. It's just pure X. It's sheer heaven at times. And these, with the different colours and all the kind of the beads and the sparkle, they're a great joy. They bring joy to your stitching. Anyway, enough of my rabbiting. That's my little soapbox. Here's where we are. So, this has been stitched in a piece of 28 count opalescent fabric from Crafty Kate, one of my fabrics of the month. And I've just been working across to over here. So we've got the bottom of her dress here and a bit of another cherry blossom coming in. So I think that's probably going to be my start on this now. She's had 2 weeks. I didn't do as much on her as I would have liked to have done. Just the way things, well, the weather being a wee bit nicer during the week this week, I was out in the back garden, so I wasn't stitching quite as much as I normally would. But I'm very happy with my start there. There's a good few hundred stitches in there, so this can probably go away for a wee while, so I can slacken off my scroll rods, which I will do now, actually, when I have it in my mind. I like my scroll rods tight when I'm working. I like my fabric to be drum tight. Right, so that's the whips. So there we go. Right, talking of scroll rods leads me nicely into haul, because part of my haul is scroll rods. Size is everything, trust me. We have a set off. This will never fit in the camera. One of my friends on Facebook, Helen, had posted up that Needle Needs in the UK, who are a great supplier of quality scroll frames, a Millennium frame made from solid beechwood and the needle necessaire stand. They have had a bit of bad press in the past because of the timelines of things getting done, but that has improved tremendously. Helen had posted that he has extended his range now. Jacob, I think his name is. Jacob, I'm sure it's Jacob. And is now doing 44-inch, yes, you heard it here, 44-inch scroll rods. Just think super size, heaven and earth designs and landscape. Ideal, just made for that. And of course I thought, well, I had to have that. I mean, it's just, why wouldn't I? So I ordered these at the end of May there, about just after the May bank holiday, and they arrived this week. That's tremendous, and so I'm more than happy. And I feel I could do another 2 or 3 sets of scroll rods, to be honest, for the fancy lady style things, both portrait and landscapes. A set of 20-inch, or maybe in a set of 27 or 28 inches would do that. Would cover both eventualities there. Anyway, here they are. Oh, and I got a set of these. Them bar caps, just to hold them and stop the centre of that. See that central dowel there? Stop that escaping or snapping when I put them down sometimes. So I'm scrolling these along, you can't see. Look at the craftsmanship, they're gorgeous. And they just feel nice, they're nice and smooth, beautifully made. So I'm thinking there's going to be a new start in there. You're all saying, Stuart, why do you need a new start of a supersized Heaven and Earth Designs piece? Because I do. Let's be honest. One does not need to justify one's stitching habits. So I'm thinking at the moment, Emily, you might be pricking your ears up next, Treasure Hunt bookshelf could be going on here. I'm not sure where I want to start on that. I've been looking at it and I can't make up my mind if I want to start at the bottom, which is my normal place for starting, and just work along, or start at the top for a wee change and do the dark blue and the greenery, the green ivy or whatever it is up at the top of the shooting star. I'm not sure. You're all thinking, if you don't know the design, what's he talking about? Let me show you. Get my tablet. Take cable out, switch tablet on. So I need the tablet eggs, I've got things to show you. View mock-up. Aye. So here we are. Here's the piece in all its glory. So I can either start, well, let me zoom in. I can either start down there where the book is, which is my normal starting point, or I can start up top. For start up top, all I'm going to get is clouds and the very top of that tree and the star. For start at the bottom, I'm going to get very dark colours in the corner, and then I think I might manage to get a little bit of the bottom of the book. So swings and roundabouts, I'm not sure which I want to do. What do you think? Do tell. Right, I'll keep the tablet to hand because that's going part of haul as well. What other haul was there? Oh, I never showed you something last week that arrived, I forgot. Let me just grab that over. And there's a couple of things down here I need to show you as well and talk about. Hang on. I don't be careful, there's going to be things all over the floor. Right, here we go. Right, that's it there. Okay, so another thing that arrived, I forgot to show you, this is from the Cany Little Fox on Instagram, who makes the most marvellous project bags, or project style things. This is a travel bag, I think she calls it. I love that fabric. You got Hellraiser, you got Jason, Scream. Oh, I loved it. That was an instant Google search. See, I need to find that fabric. I want bags. I need to make bags for myself. And then when you open it up, lovely glitter fabric, glitter vinyl in there, wee pockets, stitch bed, needle holder, and something to grab your floss with, a pocket, and another bag. Like a vinyl bag thing to put your wee project in, so a wee small would sit in there quite happily. So I was very pleased with that. The quality is excellent. I need to work out what she uses for her padding. It feels like Bosal, I think. I'm not sure, but Bosal's hell of an expensive. I went looking at that the other day just to thought I might try a bit of Bosal. Yeah, I quickly changed my mind on that. I thought, no, I'll stick to my fusible interface on my H640 that I like so much. Anyway, very pleased with that. That will come in very handy. So, thank you. I think the lady's name, I think it's Emily, if I remember right, my messages on Instagram. So, that's a good one. What else have we been buying? I'm enjoying the buying. Oh yes, the Witchy Stitcher, because Friday was Friday the 13th, she had a wee sale running Friday the 13th with 13% off her chart, so I indulged myself and I bought the Stephen King house. Which I think will be great fun. I've just printed it off in black and white, it is colour. And there are a lot of colours in this, by the way, for the Witchy Stitcher for Gwen. I don't know what she was thinking of when she did this one. There is, of course, the Cone of Doom is required because there is a good degree of black, so I'm busy trying to find the key. Hang on. Well, she was obviously in a colourful mood when she was making this one up. Well, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 36 colours. And they're not all greys and blacks. So the movies in this that are referenced are, we have The Shining, 1408, Carrie, It, Cujo, Misery, Pet Sematary, Christine, and Children of the Corn. So that will be fun. Looking forward to that. What else did I buy? I got a couple in the Heaven and Earth Design sale. The sale's still going on today. So I'll probably, if you're probably up, certainly in the UK, you'll probably cash it till tomorrow at some point as well. So I bought a couple of supersize pieces because why not? I love a supersize. I'm fully recognising to the fact none of these pieces will ever be finished this side of eternity. But like I said before, my process stitcher, I just enjoy the stitching and I will enjoy stitching this. So I got Ciro Marchetti's Mystical Cats. I love this. I've loved this forever since it came out. So it's a compilation of all his cats. So that was bought. That's just super size. That's not max colour. And then I saw on one of the Facebook groups somebody had bought a piece by Lars Stuart, who I think is Amy's husband, called something. All Seasons Flower Shop, this one is called. And let me just show you the mock-up. There we go. Again, this is landscapes. This will be ideal for my new Squirrel Rods. All plans are subject to change, of course. So I like that. I like the colours in that. The detail looks good, especially because it's supersized. So that was happy days. And prospective haul will be the new Mira was released overnight for it's the 200th one, and she's lovely. So I think that will be getting ordered as soon as I can get my hands on it. Here we are. I took a screen grab the picture to share with you. She is called Portrait of Lady M, M being Lady Mirabilia, I imagine, and she's beautiful. It's a much more kind of traditional Nora chart, so I'm delighted to see that one, and I feel that will be an addition to my stitching. I think she's lovely. Right. Oh, I just noticed on Facebook there's a close. Oh, that's where the screen grab from. It's Father's Day today. To all who are celebrating, happy Father's Day. Hope you are being well looked after and well treated. Right, sorry, that was a digression, a total aside that just caught me unawares. Right, what have we got next? That was all the haul. Oh, organisation. So, I showed you some Cosmo threads I got last week, and one of the things I did in the garden this week was sort them into order and mix them in with the Cosmos I already had. So, how I'm organising these is with one of my favourite suppliers, Pip and Chip. You get them in Etsy or their website, take your pick. What I ordered from them this time was a set of Cosmos stickers. So you'll see blanks because I've used some of them already. So these can go onto floss drops. They're kind of vinyl stickers and they're very sticky. And I ordered a box of blank acrylic floss drops. Can you see that? I don't know, either clear. So they do come with a film in the back which you just peel off. That might be better to show you. There we go. Aye. So you have a hole to put onto your however you're holding it for your floss and for the odds. So I bought a box of 200 of those to start me off. So that's how I'm organising them. And let me show you where we got to. And I have found a supplier in the UK. Instagram. Somebody tagged me on a lady. One of my viewers tagged me on Instagram, I think it was. And off I went. And Anna at the Eternal Thread Maker, I'll link her below. It's very helpful. So that's very good. So here's what I've got. Let's see that. So there's the thing in use. Show the beast. There we are. That number is what, 2835? See, bring these backwards, 2835. So that's all my threads so far. So there's about 90 odd colours on there now. That thing they're on, this is a jailer's hoop. I am trying not to think of so many jokes I can make about the width of this hoop. However, moving on very swiftly. This is ideal for those. These can be found on Amazon or eBay. I think I got mine off eBay. And they're great for holding things like this. I think I used them originally for Annie's Keepers when I used to use Annie's Keepers. So I do like a floss drop. I'm very happy. So that's them, and they are now nicely organised, ready for use. So, oh God, my Squirrel Rods nearly took a dive. Come back here. Don't you dare. Right, that's them. They're behaving now. Right. I'm not thinking about behaving. There we go. Stay. Dear me. Recalcitrant Squirrel Rods. What can I say? As he takes a drink, excuse me. Right. So that's a bit more about my organisation. I like floss drops for my threads, so that's good. And I've ordered from Anna. I have ordered some more Cosmo threads because all that Cosmo threads I've got, They didn't have the ones I wanted for Hannah Atwater, which I want to start soon. This is a sampler design from Michelle at Mama Loves You GB on Etsy, which I plan on starting, and I want to stitch it in Cosmo threads. So I worked out, I had a wee chart for converting. So I've ordered those from Anna. There's one or two she doesn't have, so she's going to get them in for me and then get them all sent out. I shall look forward to that. So that's another new start lined up. Who doesn't like a new start? Right, where are we next? The shelf of surprises. I just went and put my hand in random and plucked, and out popped a couple of things. So first up, we have a Teresa Wentzler piece. This is Romeo and Juliet. This is along the lines of the piece I'm desperate to get my hands on if I can find this kitted up somewhere. I mean, I could buy it in patterns online and just have the PDF, but I do love to have the kit for these, and with the paper chart and this. I know it's daft when you can get a PDF, but that's just me. I like to have that. So Lady of Shalott is still on my list of things to hunt and find. But this is Romeo and Juliet, so that'll be a lovely one to do. So I've got the threads all organised on this. So there's a lot of colours. As you can see, got these on these plastic organisers. I got these off Amazon. So they're handy to have. I think Catherine, you use these, don't you? Catherine Stitches. So, and it comes with, I'm sure there's fabric working in here. I feel something. Oh, it comes with a nice piece of, what is that, 28 count? 28 count Monaco, it feels like. Well, it says 28 count even weave, a nice kind of blue colour. So, one day that will get a start. Do you know, when I retired, I thought I'm going to have tons of time to stitch. I've got so much done. Yeah, whatever, Stuart. It's true what they say. I always laugh when I hear people say this, but I don't know how I found time to work. I know. So there's that one. And then the next one is another Mirabilia Fancy Lady. This seems to be a theme these days. What have we got in here? Well, this looks as if it's kind of kitted up, ready to go. I hear rustlings, I see threads and fabrics. Oh well. This is the Stargazer. An oldie but a goodie, just like myself. MD88, the Stargazer. No metallics in this, just beads and threads. Beads and BMC, which is nice. So, I don't know what this is. I'm sure I got this, was it Christine? One of my friends, Christine, down south, sent this over the border. So there's a piece of fabric there, which would actually look, that would work very well. I don't know if that's 20 or 32, though. We'll have a look. Depending how densing the beading is, well, depending on whether if it's 32 count, whether I use it or switch for something else, or whether I choose to just be interpretive with the beads. And we have the beads and the threads. So, oh, that's Arson Designs kitted up for me. There we go. Nice colour palette. So, another fancy lady ready to go. Who would have thought? I'd forgotten that. I kind of knew I had the chart, but I had no idea I was so well organised for it. What does it do? I do. There are times I get totally flummoxed about how to organise my stitching. Do I do pick one day a week I'll do a head, another day a week I'll do a fancy lady, someone else I'll do a sampler, so another day I'll do X, Y, or oh. There are so many ways to skin that cat. Right, so that's from the shelf. Oh, we're at 45 minutes. I wasn't sure how long this would be today, but we're doing alright. Right then, one of my lovely viewers got in touch with me and asked if I could make her a couple of vinyl bags, which was wonderful. I was very pleased now about that. It's so nice. It's always nice when somebody trusts me to make a bag to hold their beautiful stitching in. So I did. So these are now made, and she was okay with me showing them on my floss tube. So these are going to get picked up by Royal Mail tomorrow and whisk their way down. Well, I think they're going over the water actually. They're off to Ireland somewhere. And here's one. So nice vinyl fronted, nice and kind of gold glittery fabric over it. Lovely coffee fabric. This turned out so well. I was very pleased. And there we go. Nice. So you can get a nice project in. This is sized at 14 by 12. There's the back. Fun fabric. I like that one. I like all the fabrics. So that's been rustled up and ready to start its journey. And the zip works. And then we have this one, this very summery strawberry one. Again, another lovely fabric. I was very pleased how these turned out. And again, some nice Dunelm. I got my glittery vinyl from Dunelm. So it's, the glitter's near the show. When the sunlight hits it, it's really nice. So I was very pleased how those turned out. So as usual, if you're interested in a bag from me, please do get in touch. And we can chat through what fabrics I've got. And so I'm just seeing a thread that I haven't snipped off. It just stuck up and offended me. Hang on a second. There, sorted. If you're interested in any bags from me, please do get in touch and we can have a chat about fabrics I've got and what I can do for you. I've got 2 to make up today, tomorrow for another lady who's asked me to make a couple of bags for her. So I'll get those done and dealt with. So thank you, ladies, for trusting me to make these bags for you. I'm very grateful. Right, that was bags. Right, what else is there to talk about? Books. What's Stuart been reading, but is actually listening to on Audible, or in this instance from the local library. I have discovered a new set of books set in Glasgow for a main character being a forensic scientist called Dr. Rona MacLeod. The books are by Lynn Anderson and they are very good. I'm really enjoying listening to them. I've listened to quite a few now. I've got a few on reserve waiting for somebody else to finish listening to them. I wish I would hurry up. Do not know there's people waiting to listen to these books. So there, if you like your crime scenes and fairly gritty, set in Glasgow, read by a very good Scottish voice, these are good and well worth it. And there's a kind of overarching life story goes on as well for Dr. Rona MacLeod and her colleagues. So they're not just kind of standalone books. You can follow through the books how their lives and careers are developing and intertwining. So it's all very good. What else? And I watched Department Q on Netflix. It was set in Edinburgh, and having lived in Edinburgh, I've lived in Glasgow. I lived in Glasgow. Where did I? This is when I worked in Bath Street. I was in Glasgow in the late 80s. I lived and worked there. Loved it. Great fun. I still remember I worked in a bank in those days, and I still remember Monday, Thursday before the Good Friday Easter weekend. We opened the doors at the banking hall at 9:30 on the dot, and the people flooded in, and it was queued out the door. It was a long banking hall, and it stretched the length of the building, and it was queued out the door and down the steps and around the corner all day. And when it came to 4 o'clock for closing time, we had to bunch everybody up to get them in so as we could close the doors. Oh, that was a busy day. Cash was going out over that counter like it was going out of fashion. Good days. It was fun. It was fun. We had a good team in the counter there. Great fun. But oh my, I wouldn't want to go through all that again. Anyway, that was my time in Glasgow. I also lived in Edinburgh. And so I enjoyed watching Department Q. I recognised a lot of the streets and Melville Place and all that kind of, all these places in Edinburgh. Great fun. And Matthew Good as Detective Mork, very acerbic and acidic. Great fun. Great story. Really enjoyed it. And fingers crossed for series 2. Loved it. I mean, yeah, people have criticised it for whatever reason. People always do. I mean, these things aren't everybody's cup of tea. But it floated my boat and I had great fun watching it. So here's a couple of things for you to go and hunt out if you're interested in such things. Plans. So, as always, temperature in Saga will continue. Um, Miss Cherry Blossom will go away, and I'm not sure yet what's going to happen. I've been thinking about doing Treasure Hunt Bookshelf, but I can't make up my mind where I want to start yet. So that might wait a few days. I might have to haul something else out. Not that I'm short of things to haul out, let's be honest. What's coming this week? Oh, I've got my Swab 103 Silks are coming for Hands Across the Sea Queen of the May, Elizabeth Stevenson. So they should arrive this week. Beverly at Fobbles got in touch with me yesterday to say she's got them, so I've paid for them now. And she'll get them in the post to me on Monday, so they'll arrive hopefully Tuesday, Wednesday. So that'll be nice. Looking forward to that. I think I'm going to store them. There's 22 spools for that, so I think I'm going to order maybe a Gutermann thread box off Amazon, because that will hold the spools, I think, and that might be the best way to deal with those. Unless anyone here has other alternatives, I'm all ears to listen to those. So that's exciting. Yes, exciting then that I'm not sure what I'm going to stitch next week yet. I could pull up Amphitrite. She hasn't been on the frame for a while. Or I should really pull up the Blackwater Sirens from Bella Filipina as well. That hasn't had some love for a wee bit, and I could really do to get some more of the tail of the bottom mermaid done. So that's in my head as thinking about. Since I've got the frame, my needle needs to stand here. What else is happening next week? What else are we up to? I'm not sure. I don't know what the weather is. I'm meeting some friends towards the end of the week for some stitching time, so I'm looking forward to that. No idea what I'm taking yet. Something small. I might take Saga actually, because I'm enjoying working on it. I can just put a lot of stitches into Saga. It doesn't need to be just limited to doing my whip into shape, because it will help me whip it more into shape. I think that's it. So I'll probably go out for a walk after this. It's dry, so I'm going to get my steps in. Got to keep it trim. I'll tell you one thing, I'm wearing a jersey today. It's been cold the past, yesterday and Friday I think were a bit chilly. And I think since I lost weight, I think I've lost all my padding. My insulation's gone, so the temperature drops. I didn't half feel it. I used to always run hot, but not so much nowadays. I don't know if that's just old age. Yeah, oh, there we are. Right, I'm rabbiting, so I think it's time to go at that. So thank you for spending time with me. As I say, I always enjoy this Sunday reset, a recap of the week that's gone, what I've stitched, and we think about what might be coming up in the coming week. Please do comment, let me know your thoughts below, give me a thumbs up if you've enjoyed it, and if you're new to the channel, please do think about subscribing. It's always nice to have lots of friends along on this journey. It's lovely seeing the comments. I can't believe the support to my stitching. This wee boy in Central Belt of Scotland, and you're all loving his stitching, which is tremendous. So thank you so much for that. You've no idea what that does for me. And I think that'll do for today. So happy stitching, everybody. I'll see you next Sunday. Bye.